Welcome. I'm Robert Coots. One of my responsibilities in the Greater Mandela program, not only being the library project where we educate kids, is how we fund these things. And today I'm privileged to be at the Mandela Tea Farm, where the start of something that is going to be fairly large in our portfolio is the honeybush tea, a certified organic tea, but more specifically something very, very unique to South Africa. As unique as Mr. Mandela was to our legacy and our country, this tea is really a signature of South African brilliance, where something as refined as fynbos can be turned into such a healthy, vibrant tea that people enjoy across the globe. And behind me you can actually see the start of what we hope to be something quite significant, in a way in which we can not only uplift the community, but in a way in which we can create funding for more libraries and more children's literacy programs in South Africa.
My name is Zaziwe Manuel. I am a director of Long Walk to Freedom, a family business that my family and myself started. I am the eldest daughter, granddaughter of Winnie and Nelson Mandela. My role is to further the business, to identify companies that fit in line with our family vision, with our legacy of keeping my grandfather's legacy alive. So I work very, very closely with Rob in doing so. I also run the library project, Mandela Library Project with Rob, which is something that's very, very passionate to myself and my family. It was started by my grandfather. As everybody knows, education was extremely important to him, and that's one of the ways that we as a family have decided to further his legacy.
My name is Clifford Elphick, and together with my wife we are the owners of the Coland Estate. I am a shareholder in the Cape Tea Company and have partnered Alexander Bear in producing honeybush on our farms, and we will be marketing that honeybush in another partnership with the Mandela family, and using the Mandela Tea brand to get our product to the market.
Hi, my name is Alexander Bear, and together with Clifford Elphick we have started the Cape Tea Company. The aim of this company is to develop the honeybush tea industry in South Africa. Honeybush tea is endemic to the southern Cape of South Africa and has traditionally been harvested in the wild.
My name is David Manaway. I am the Chief Executive Officer of the Long Walk to Freedom brand. The role of education with the Mandela Tea is very important because it was one of the pillars that Nelson Mandela stood for. Something that he committed his life to was the literacy of all South Africans and all people. It's important that all the brands that are associated with the legacy of Nelson Mandela reach a certain standard. We always want to make sure that we're partnering with people that are trying to make a difference in society and contribute to the global community.
Partnering up with Alex and with the tea and having the proceeds go to the library program speaks directly to what my grandfather's legacy is. Education is extremely important, and that's why libraries have become extremely important to me and my family, because it speaks to everything that he embodied.
But tea has quite a significant bearing on in fact, the globe, on people. Not only is a refreshing drink, but it also has some health properties, and this is why we chose honeybush as one of our partners, because it is South African in its nature. It creates employment, it works the land, something that's very, very intrinsic to every South African and every person that lives in Africa. And it provides a way for us to give back to the world with something healthy. It provides a way for us to give back to the children in this area, which will be the first beneficiaries of the proceeds from this tea. But it also provides us a way to let the world know about what's possible, about what South Africa can do.
There are many kinds of honeybush tea, but our kind is called Cyclopia longifolia. Cyclopia longifolia has nearly been wiped out in the wild due to overharvesting, and our efforts of planting cuttings and seedlings is of huge importance to protect the heritage of this tiny floral kingdom.
Partnering up with Alexandra on the Mandela Tea was a perfect fit for us, because it literally speaks to, I believe, his legacy. My grandfather loved tea. It was his passion. He enjoyed his tea. His tea was his pastime, if for lack of a better word. In the morning, that was the first thing that was sent up to his room. It was the last thing that he had before he went to sleep. And that's why the tea business was just a no-brainer for me.
I knew that Mr. Mandela was a tea drinker. He was actually an avid tea drinker, and he always made sure that he had his good tea every day.
I'm not sure if everyone knows, but when Mr. Mandela was released from prison, what was the first thing he did? Well, actually, the first thing he did was he went and had a cup of tea. And then he went to go and address the nation. And that just says something about the basis of the man he was. So, why are we actually doing this? Well, to be quite frank, we need public-private partnerships. South African business needs to get involved. People are using the Mandela brand to gain market share. We need to be able to use that in an appropriate way, and we're glad to have partnered with the Cape Tea Company.
Honeybush is an indigenous plant. It grows wild in the mountains. It only grows in a certain part of the Cape, and so our conditions here are absolutely ideal for it. So we are very hopeful, and I think this is going to be a massive contributor to the relieving the unemployment in this area, and of course I think we've got a business which is going to work.
And when you look at the range of teas that we have to offer from the Cape Tea Company here, the one being Rooibos, then there's the Honeybush, there's a mix of Rooibos and Honeybush, and my personal favorite is the Honeybush and Buka.
South African businesses can contribute to the Mandela Tea by helping us open doors for retail, also being able to partner and contribute to the Mandela Literacy Program.
Well, I think Nelson Mandela, the icon, the savior of South Africa, I mean, I don't need to add more. It is with immense pride that I can have a partnership with his family, but a portion of the proceeds, a significant portion of the proceeds in fact, goes to building libraries and providing books in many of the underprivileged and marginalized communities in South Africa. And this of course is something that I know Mr. Mandela would have been extremely pleased with. So I think in a small way we are making a contribution, but it's something that I'm proud of, and I know that his family are very pleased that this looks like it has a chance of succeeding.
Nelson Mandela meant so much to so many people, but to me personally, he was someone who I can look for as a role model, not just in his life that you see on TV or things that you see in books, but also in his personal life. There are so many people in the world that talk things, but they never actually live it. And he was a person who lived it every day.
I'm so honored to have been a part of this from inception. I think the tea business will go tremendously a long way, and I see the potential of the tea in terms of the employment that it will bring to this region of the country, which is something that is needed in our country, and the tea will actually be a vehicle in doing that as well. And it will also help in furthering my grandfather's legacy, which is what I live and breathe. It's something that I'm very, very passionate about. And I think that Alexandra and the family and this farm would really can do something amazing for our country.
So when you see this tea on the shelves, take a moment to read the packaging, because you'll notice on the packaging one of the most significant quotes that Mr. Mandela ever talked about was the fact that education has the power to change the world, not the sword. Education is the key to social upliftment. You educate someone, you give them the ability to help themselves. We will never be able to help every single child out there, but we have a responsibility to give each child the opportunity to help themselves, and education is that key.